Hello everyone and welcome back to another Fixing Warcry video. Today we're going to take a look at the Iron Golems. Before we do that though, I really want to thank you guys a lot for subscribing to me. I've reached 300 subscribers now, which is a lot more than I ever thought I would reach, having just basically just looking at Excel tables. I know that's not everyone's thing. Also, big shout out to Red Rose Wargaming again, as they have been great supports in this in the past of this channel, basically. Anyways, let's get to it. So we have the Iron Golems here. As you can see, they are very low on the tier list. I was planning on doing Caradron and Nighthorns first because that's the order I was thinking of. But I was specifically asked to do Iron Golems, so here we go. This is Iron Golems. So let's see what their problems are. First thing we'll notice is that they rank very low in average damage per point value. So already there's some kind of issue here. The damage apparently is not great. When we look at survivability, that's awesome. Movement is just below average, which is still okay. Model number just below average, which is fine. Ranged at 1 on average is not great, that's pretty low. Obviously no flying models. And then one big issue is ability score. Again, very, very low score there. So I would say the main issues here we can find out are abilities and damage per point value. So let's have a look at how to fix those things. Now, I've zoomed into this table as well. I hope you guys can read it better. I've had some feedback by people who watch on their phones who couldn't read that well. I hope this works better for them now. Anyways, so let's have a look here. What's the damage per point value for these guys and what's the issue here? I think some guys that are actually very good are the Drill Master. 5.4 damage per activation is pretty nice. We've got the Dwarf, which is okay, which is good point value for per activation. However, I don't recommend bringing him because he's limited to movement 4, which to movement 3, which is very bad. So the Armator is a bit of a bad one there. And then we've got the Signifer. Yeah, you can either bring him with Banner or with Club. However, we'll talk about the abilities in a second, but as of right now, the Banner is quite useless. And then obviously we've got the Domina and the Ogre, and I think a big misconception many people have is that the Ogre is the big powerhouse of the warband. But as you can see, at 6.7 damage on average, his damage is lower than that of the Drill Sorry, it's obviously higher than that of the Drill Master, but he costs a lot more points as well. So it's actually not that great. Just one thing to mention though, if you do give him Onslaught, his damage goes up quite significantly because obviously he's only got 2 attacks normally. The Dominar, also very good damage at 5.6, so he is a fine model as well. And as you can see, these are like decent value for points. The Ogre is very tough to kill as well, but as I said, activations to be killed is not really an issue we're looking at here, so I'm going to ignore this for the most part. Let's have a look at the abilities then. So what they've got now is the Thrown Bolus thing, where they can throw 2 dice at one enemy in 6 inch, and each 4 plus does 1 damage, each 6 does damage equal to the points value, to the ability value. This is not a bad ability. This ability is fine. It gives you some ranged, which is always nice. Then we've got 2 leader abilities here. We've got the first double, which is add the value of this ability to the strength for the next attack action. It's not for the entire activation, it's just for one attack action. And as a matter of fact, it's just always worse than Onslaught. I calculated this through. No matter how high you put the toughness of the opponent, this ability is always worse than Onslaught. So it's absolutely pointless. never bring this. Even if you only take one attack, even then Onslaught is better than using this. So yeah, big issue there. Then we've got the second leader, which is after taking one enemy down, you can get an extra attack or move action. This ability is fine. It's not great. It's something very like many warbands have, so it's okay. But no more than okay. And we've got the triple for the ogre, which is the charge. So after moving, you can deal damage equal to the value. That ability is fine. You'll use it probably once in a while. It's not bad. Then we've got the triple for the banner bearer, so for the signifier with banner. And that's add 1 to the toughness characteristic of all friendly models within 6 inch. I think this is probably the worst ability in the game. Yeah, horrible ability. Toughness is overvalued anyways in Warcry. These guys don't need more toughness, they are tough enough as is. I think the Legionnaire with shield is toughness 5, which is significantly more than you would ever need. Enough anyways, so you definitely don't need to add more toughness. I think the banner is just horrible. And then we've got the quad for the Drill Master, which is dealing damage equal to the value of the ability to all enemies within 3 inch. Again, that's fine. This is not a bad ability. So yeah, how would I change these? So these are the abilities. Let's call them new. This is how I would change them. So firstly, for the first lead ability, I would add half the value of the dice to strength and attacks for the next attack. So if you are using, say you rolled the average 3 to 4, and then you would get 2 extra attacks, 2 extra strength. That makes it slightly better than Onslaught, because you would get 2 attacks with Onslaught as well if you're attacking twice. It's quite significantly better if you have moved once before though. So I think this is nice. It's a good lead ability that could actually have a nice impact on the game, but it's definitely not too strong. So I like this ability a lot more than having the very boring strength on a strength 5 model anyways, because the leader is already strength 5. He definitely doesn't need just something adding strength. Then we've got the double with the shield for the shield bearer. So you can see I removed the alt leader ability because I think this is a lot better now, and you'll use this a lot more anyway, so the leader doesn't really need another double ability. So I think the shield bearer legionnaires could use an ability, and I would give them a double that allows them to take damage on behalf of other units within 3 inch. So when you activate this double, whenever one of your other fighter takes damage, you can allocate those damage points to this guy. I think that would be very interesting, because it would make the damage output of these guys is horrible. 1.4, atrocious. So the only really good point in these is tanking, and I think this would allow them to actually tank. I think this would be very cool. And it would be much more useful than the banner, which adds 1 toughness to all fighters. Horrible ability again, so I think this would be a good replacement. But what would I do with the banner? Well, I think what would be cool is saying, hey, the banner will halve enemy movement within 6 inches. I was thinking about adding movement to your own warband, but that's something that many warbands already have, and it's probably not that interesting. So I thought, hey, let's change it around, switch it up. Why not half enemy movement? That would also give these guys an edge in the movement game, and could be very interesting of a mechanic. So I think this would be better. And honestly, with these 3 changes alone, the warband would be significantly better. The leader would be able to deal way more damage. So you kind of tackle that damage problem, although not completely again without changing any of the cards. It's not easy to change to change how the damage is, and I normally don't really want to change any of the card stats. But I think that would help a lot. I think the shield guys would be way more useful if they had this ability. And again, the banner would also now be useful. So those are my suggested changes for Iron Golems, and I honestly believe this could put them up at least in mid tier as compared to now where they are complete bottom tier. So guys, please do let me know what you think, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.